What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're bringing you a pretty neat design here. This is the Cloud from Arsenal, and I believe it's the first of its kind. Sewn in pockets, which are really cool. It's made of Nyko ripstop. You've got a pretty nice wide piece of webbing down here so that you don't get that thin piece that kind of digs into you, kind of cradles the buttocks, if you will. Got some molly on the back, as per usual. When we turn it over, notice a few things that aren't super common. So they've got the webbed belt, which anybody that recognizes this style of saddle, this was actually a collaboration with Tubor. They sent me a prototype to play around with an onion back in the fall, and I wore it for about 8 sits in Indiana and a little bit in the backyard and stuff. And when I was on the phone with Scott, I'm opening up the saddle and I'm like, oh no, how do I have this conversation? Well, I didn't need to because they collabed, so it's pretty neat. One thing I will say is the webbed belt. It's going to create a lot more friction because it's wider than your traditional am steel or oblong belt. So you'll need to kind of give a little more force when you're maneuvering and rolling through the carabiner. It does have adjustments here on each side, as you can see. You've got an am steel adjustable rope belt, tension straps on each side at the top, leg straps, pretty sweet looking little G hooks there that go down here. I never used them myself, but they are cool. And then obviously your lineman's loops here. Super comfortable saddle. It's really nice. You can adjust the support right here, and that really helps a lot. The one thing that I will say is I wore this during the late season when it was cold out. I'm excited to put this on a tree now and play around with it a little bit with some early season gear on. You can definitely feel a lot more in a saddle when you have super thin pants on and you're hunting in the heat. When I was hunting in this, my God, I was wearing probably 3 layers, one of which was the Huntworth bibs, their heat boost, and they're like covered in the wool on the inside, or fleece. So that'll keep you from feeling a lot. So just about any saddle will feel pretty damn comfortable. So want to bring you my sort of final thoughts, if you will, on the Cloud. Want to kind of get probably the only sort of minor negative out of the way that you could have, that I have, is the bridge. Again, we talked about the wider webbing material. It has more surface area, so it's going to catch that carabiner as you try to roll through. We rated the bridge at an 8.7. It's still a damn good bridge because it adjusts really simply, and I like that about it. But I just wanted to hit on that. So we gave the bridge an 8.7. And if anybody has any ideas for different ratings on the saddle, hit us up, throw a comment in the comment section, and we'll take a look at it. We're just trying to do the best we can to give really good, unbiased reviews. That way you guys can make, good choices. All right, adjustability, we gave a 9.8. We feel this is a very adjustable saddle. You can adjust your leg straps and whether they exist, which I think every saddle should have removable leg straps. I'm not saying that I recommend you don't use your leg straps, but I'll tell you that I do not use leg straps. If anybody wants to know the reason, feel free to leave a comment below, but I don't want to put that in the video. With the bridge, it's very simple to adjust. You just need to take a little bit of tension off of it and then get it wherever you want it. And same goes with these tension straps up in the top part of the saddle here. As a sitter, I can sit down, barely lean forward, jerk them up, and now I have support for my core, which you don't get a lot without having a back band with a single panel. And then if I want to stand up and just kind of keep the blood flow, which is really what saddle hunting is all about, it's adjusting to make sure your blood's flowing and you're not cramping up and getting uncomfortable. So when I stand up and I want to lean, I just let the tension out of the tension system there at the top part, and I'll be able to lean back, and it's just more comfortable. Rolling right into comfort, we gave a 9.6. I have, as I said previously, multiple sits in this saddle in Indiana, the version that Tubor did, which is basically the same thing from what I remember, other than, the pockets. And I was able to actually, my first sit in it was in, I'd forgotten about this, but it was in lightweight early season clothing. We had a heat up in the first week of November, and it was in the 80s, and I was comfortable. I sat all day in this saddle, and then did it again in gun season, and then late bow season, and then did some sits in Ohio in that thing. So absolutely comfortable as hell. Gave it a 9.6. Innovation. Gave it a 9.5. We feel like the way the bridge was done and the pockets on this are great. And then, of course, this little tension system in the upper part of the saddle. Pretty innovative stuff. Really a fan of that work. Durability, 9.8. The only reason it doesn't have basically a 10, again, is because there's plastic here that can fail. This is tough shit. This is what they make really good tents and really good stuff out of for taking into the freaking elk camp and stuff. If you tear this saddle, I'll buy you a beer and shake your hand, because that's tough stuff. Price point, we gave an 8.9. MSRP is $329. Feel like that's a relatively fair price. You're getting some stuff that you really don't get with other saddles, but at the same rate, it is a little on the higher end. But again, I get, built-in pockets. Those are slick as hell. I mean, look at how many Little Debbie, Star Crunch, all that stuff, chips, Jolly Ranchers. You can fit all kinds of shit in there. So all these averaged out to a 9.3. Think it's a great saddle, and I would personally recommend it, and this will be one that I'm definitely going to kill some deer out of this fall. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Please feel free to subscribe to our channel. It really supports us, and it's free to you. And come check out and buy all this stuff at the Mobile Hunters Expo this weekend. See ya.